Hi everyone and welcome to Liberty Traders. This is yet another update and yeah, it's very nice to see that our trade setups are working out. Yeah, I'm quickly going back to Monday's stream and we discussed the fake out of this little triangle that we've been forming over there. And yeah, I mean, if we zoom into this, we can definitely see while we were forming the triangle. I know at the time we were right over here, and I was explaining that if we do get the fake out of the triangle into the daily, into this value area high, this is at local value area high, literally tap that level to the exact dollar, and then we had that rejection. If we can see, if we zoom a little bit more, we can see that locally we had a rejection around the golden pocket area, and ultimately we just couldn't get higher. Came back down, and then ultimately just dropped down quite hard. So yeah, that's exactly what happened. It was very funny actually. I still know on the group there was a funny thing I was saying. I was mentioning obviously the hectic bearish divergences. And I was actually making a joke. I was saying up or down after the triangle. Let's vote and go all in after the fake out. So that was a very funny one to banter about in the group. And then yeah, as I was mentioning in the previous stream, we had these two value area lows. And I said if we do lose this one, we could, look at this daily as support. And ultimately, if that's not support, we can look at the value area low. So as we can see, we never set limit order trades. We wait for a level to hit. We wait for the reaction. We wait for the CVD. I always tell the group that do not take a trade. Just wait and see the reaction at level. Ultimately, we did come down to that second value area low. We had a little touch in there. Didn't offer great bounce yet. Obviously, you just wait, be patient. We did hang around the value area low for a few hours. After we breached that, that was about 22 hours. So we didn't actually close it daily below this, so that's quite nice. So as we come down the value area low, I told the group as well that currently we're at the second value area of the range. We can now look for bullish CVD divergences to look for longs. So I explained that we've now reached a very high target and we can start looking for longs. And what I also would like to mention is before I look at the divergences, just quickly want to zoom out. And I know that I've mentioned this on a previous stream as well, that we've come into this 0.886 level, which is also a critical level and the last support area. And obviously, as we can see, after we breach this value area low, we've taken all these lows, which is absolutely brilliant. We had the swing failure of that low, and that is beautiful. Such a nice low to take at the end of the day. So yeah, what we can now look at currently after this drop, obviously when we came down to these lows, as I said, we look at the CVD, and I'm actually just going to go back into the divergences, and we can see as we've come to this low at 18,000, just around the 18,500 level, we can see that after that wick was put in, the price went up, and after that rise, we've actually got very significant bullish divergences, CVD, and it just kept on making these bullish CVD every time, the price has gone up. So people are trying to sell. And at the end of the day, exactly as I was saying in the previous stream, once there's too many selling going on an important level, you can then start looking for that short squeeze. And that's exactly what happened. The price went up. As we can see, we did form some bearish CVD over here, hence this little drop, a little correction. But as we can see, as you go up, you just want to follow the CVD and see if you keep forming bullish divergences as well. And yeah, as we can see, the price is going up, and after making some lows and back testing, we can see we keep on making bullish CVD on the drop. So that's just a very nice way of looking at a trend to see if it's still intact. Obviously, we can now start looking for bearish CVD because we come into resistance area. But that's just a very, very nice way to actually look for your trends, if it's still staying intact while you're in your longs, for example. Yeah, what we can now do is, as I was mentioning, we're back at this value area low. And what we want to do is actually now want to pull a new range profile. So obviously the volume levels always change as we go on. So just going to quickly pull another range profile. Just actually going to do it from this exact low quickly. As we can see, this value area low actually moved. So as we come down to levels, you can actually just move it down. And we can see the point of control from this lows actually moved down to this area because of this volume that we've with the sideways range over there. And then what we can also do is just that second one. I know I did this profile from this drop as well. We can see that's still the point of control of this entire section, and that value area low is still over there, which is exactly coming into these lows, which is a critical resistance at this moment. So yeah, that's a very, very, very big level. I would be aware of this value area low. Very, very key SR level. So that's coming in at that 19,600 area, which is a very important level to be aware of. And then obviously if we do get acceptance into the value area low, we can then again look at this daily. If we breach the daily, we can look at this point of control over there, breach that, obviously back to the value area high. And then what we'll look at is obviously if this is the low, we can start looking for resistance. You can look on the fib levels. It's coming into the 618 area. And this is obviously a higher resistance area. You can look at you can just look at upper point of control levels. Obviously that's coming into that value area low as well. So it's just a nice way of forming a plan, and I always just do this to look for levels. So we can always use these for fans to look at some confluence levels, 75 or the 618. So we can definitely monitor this and see when we do reach these levels, what we can do next. So yeah, like I say, if we do breach the value area low, breach the POC, we can definitely go towards this value area high into towards these key levels. So as you can see, this 22,300 area is a very key level as well. Multiple touch points, so we can definitely treat that as a big level. But obviously we've got no resistance really because of this drop, so we can definitely go all the way up to that value area high very, very quickly if we breach these highs. But as of now, still in bearish market structure. I'll definitely be monitoring this 19,590 area to see if we do get another rejection to the downside. Obviously, we do have those key daily levels that I've mentioned before. Going down, this daily level's been tapped already. but we've got this next daily level coming in at 17,147. So that is a very key daily level on the higher term time frame. If we do go lower, what we can also look at is, I always just like using fib time. So just quickly going to see, once the correction has started, you just want to see in terms of time. Obviously, you'll first look at the 618 area and then the 1-to-1. So the 1-to-1's only coming in of the month. So if we do get this push up and then come back down again, we can look at the 1-to-1 for the ultimate low. But at this stage, it's not a full correction in my opinion. So we can just trade it all the way up and then see what happens. But ultimately, this is just one big range at the moment. And then what I would like to also show is, I know that I've shown the previous volume levels before. I'm just switching to another Bitcoin chart. I like having different ideas, looking at different charts, not cluttering the same chart and just easily flipping to a different Bitcoin chart. So what I've mentioned before is, and I've actually said this in our Discord group, that these old 2020 volume levels are extremely critical. Even though we've got the new area, history still rhymes and we can still reference to these levels because we've come down into these critical levels over here. So you can still reference to them. And as we can see, we've come into that value area low of 2020 range profile. And we're now coming into that value area high of that profile. If we just zoom out again, I'm just going to quickly show, obviously, this area over there, and then this profile range over there. So that's just a very nice way of looking at old profiles, and this lines up exactly with that value area low. So it's like a confluence almost, looking at strong levels. So that's just a very nice way to be aware of that. So if we do claim this value area high, we can start looking at the 21,400 area. Like I've mentioned, that's up under control. And then obviously looking at this upper old volume range, which is obviously now this new range over here as well. So if we do, for example, just pull this and see what it looks like. That value area low is coming in there, and the point of control is coming in over there. So this will obviously be your new levels that you'll actually be looking at in terms of your profile ranges. But it's so well respected, these levels, and I'm definitely referencing to them. And then I also want to mention this pitchfork. I sent this pitchfork quite a while ago, and I actually said there, holy shit. What I want to just point out is, obviously pointing and saying that this is a possible pitchfork we can look at. We've come to the 2, come down to the top of this pitchfork, went back up to test the 1.618, and then obviously ultimately we got acceptance all the way into that pitchfork, and it's absolutely beautiful. So what we can see is that we're currently on the lower 1.618, and because that 2 was tested, we can anticipate a possible drop down, which will then ultimately coming to test these lows. So if we do back test this section of this pitchfork, we can ultimately look for a drop. We can also look at this, how the midline was respected previously. So we can either have a push up to the mid of this pitchfork towards the 21,600 area, which will also be the profile POC most likely of this area, which is a naked point of control, which we can just have a look at. So the naked point of control comes in around 21,400, which is also this whole profile POC. But on the value area high area, we can definitely see that this midsection can be respected, as we can see that touch is coming over there, and then all the way we had that rally. So if we come there, test it, we can then push back down to the 2. This is just following this pitchfork idea. hovering around this area a bit and ultimately then ranging all the way back up again. So this is just the pitchfork that I'm aware of as well. And then I just like to move over to the Bitcoin dominance. Let's just quickly see. It's absolutely tanking crazy. Let's just go over to this section. Bitcoin dominance. Yeah. If we look on the high term frame, you can see that monthly was rejected, and we currently now lost these lows on the Bitcoin dominance. And yeah, that's absolutely crazy. Since January, last time we've been this low, and now we've lost these lows. So either we're gonna look for a reversal on this. Obviously, we can see there was a high made over there, but it was not for a very long time at all. Obviously, they didn't take these highs. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen over here if we're going to drop further, which means altcoins could do much better. We can see that the ETH dominance is really climbing. It's breached this key level. And yeah, Bitcoin is just not doing too well at the moment. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on Ethereum and looking at what that's going to do. We can definitely see that ETH BTC, it's claiming these critical resistance levels. So Ethereum is extremely strong at the moment, and it's just a proof that if we do zoom in on this Ethereum chart, how powerful these altcoins are at the moment. Today's pump was absolutely beautiful. 10%, over 10% rise. That is insanity. If I zoom out, I added this new pitchfork, which is just a support pitchfork. And we've come to the 618, and we've tested the 618 again. So yeah, that's that value area, low global area mentioning is such a crucial level on Ethereum. So we're still hovering around this massive level on Ethereum, this 1,500 level area. So if we keep staying above this area, we can definitely look higher. As I've mentioned before, if that is the low, then we can start looking for expansion targets. And the first target will be the 21,700 and then 2,400 and 2,174. So those are just expansion targets if we do get acceptance and we go higher, because we can still see that we're making higher lows on the chart. And yeah, if we do breach this high, we can then look to test this key level, break that. That's a very key SR level, and then we can definitely look for higher. And Ethereum is so strong that it won't even surprise me. So I'll just be monitoring that. Obviously, Bitcoin's coming to crucial resistance, and if this drops and the Bitcoin dominance drops as well, yeah, altcoins are also going to drop. But at the end of the day, if Bitcoin keeps ranging, the altcoins are going to go crazy. I also just want to mention the ES again. Beautiful, mentioned in the previous stream that we're coming into the 618, and we've had that little push up from the 618, and then ultimately now we've taken these lows. So we can see and think that the 618 can act as resistance, possibly get another drop down to this 75 area, into this golden pocket area. So we can just monitor this, but if we've already made this local market structure change, so that could possibly mean that we either come back test and go higher. We want to take this high ultimately to look for higher on the ES. And then so I'm going to go to the dollar quickly. We've now actually, if we zoom over to the weekly, this key high level into the global, or this huge 786, we've done a swing failure pattern of that on the weekly time frame so far. And yeah, we currently find ourselves below this key level. So if we do change market structure on the dollar, we can definitely anticipate some strength on the ES and then Bitcoin as well. So we'll just be waiting to see if we can get some market structure change, wait for the back test, look for further downside. So we'll definitely be waiting for that. And then very interesting charts. I haven't actually mentioned the total before, but I have spoken many times about total on the groups. And yeah, we've come to this big support level over here. What we can start anticipating is that we are looking at huge support reaching on total. That's a total market cap. So we'll just be monitoring this coming into the monthly. This could act as big support. And then obviously we could look for higher as well. But if we do lose this monthly, the 886 is the last level of support. Yeah, I think that's a lovely update for today. Covered quite a lot of things. But yeah, most importantly, Bitcoin is now at resistance. So we'll just monitor this, look at the divergences. If we do lose this daily now, we can start anticipating a nice little range we could possibly form. So what we can do is, it's obviously now in advance, but it's always nice looking at these type of things to trade from. As we can see, yeah, it's very nice. That mid channel looks definitely well respected so far. And if it's a range, currently we're breaking out. We've already back tested the top from that week. So if we do stay above the daily, we can get another push up. Otherwise, get back into this range. It's a failed auction. Let's just quickly see for interest sake if we do have any bearish CVD at the moment. Currently, no bearish CVD. We're actually having some bullish CVD at the moment. So yeah, a lot of selling going on. People wanting to look for lower. Ultimately, if we do break this low, that will be a market structure change. Currently, we have made a local lower high. So lose this low, get into the range. Then we can start looking for the rotation back down to these lows. Perhaps doing a swing failure of this low again, and then looking for a rise. Trade the range until it breaks. You can long the low, you can short the high. Very, very simple. As I was mentioning, get into this value area low again, 19,590 area. Look for the daily, break the daily. That will be your first sign of market structure change locally. And then we can look for the higher 618 area, value area high. This 23K area. So yeah, I think we've got a brilliant plan at the moment. I really like that we've taken these lows on the daily. Absolutely beautiful. What a lovely sight. That is so nice. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And if you guys liked, please leave us a comment. You guys can go and head off to our Discord channel and have a chat to the guys over there. Absolutely amazing community giving these updates. It's such a joy to be part of this community. Really fortunate to have such great guys to communicate with. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll check you guys on the next stream. Cheers, bye.